US God's will has climbed $23.6 billion this year, up to $60.7 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index as Amazon.com Inc., the primary source of fortune, has surged. The pandemic has been a wrecking ball in the lives of Americans already struggling, he wrote in the post-medium. Economic losses and health outcomes alike have been worse for women, for people of color, and for people living in poverty. Meanwhile, it's substantially increased the wealth of billionaires. The Scots gifts this year approach $6 billion, which has to be one of the biggest annual distributions by living individual to working charities, according to Melissa Bowman, Chief Executive Officer of Rockefeller Network of Advisors. Bowman says Guns donations show that it's possible to give large amounts quickly without requiring nonprofits to jump through a lot of hoops to get the money. The size of the scam may also go through a common theory that it's hard to deploy vast amounts of money without running trouble or feeling wasteful. A key to healing our lives by real abundance. At the constant living and the creative divide between many of its people often feel hopeless. You feel envious. I'm sure you can see a similar divide in your country as well. People judging each other, angry and fearful, feeling very little understanding and compassion. They are arguing and blaming the other side. So what can you do to heal this divide? For me, the answer lies in compassion. Compassion for others and our country and the world who are suffering. Compassion for our neighbors, for people who have different views, for people who are afraid and who just want a good life. Compassion for ourselves as we try to make our way through a difficult situation. But compassion is difficult right now. It's just telling people to have compassion doesn't work. The problem is that our views of who is right and wrong are getting in the way of compassion and healing the divide. So the real key to this is in setting aside a view and setting aside being right. The real key to healing this divide is letting go of what we think we know. It's only when we let go of what we think we know that we can be curious about the other side. Try to understand why they do what they do, why they feel the way they feel. Try to step into their world and get them. It's only when we let go of our knowing and step into non-knowing that we can really see their side and feel compassion for them. Once we do that, the compassion can come and healing can begin. Set aside what we think we know. Open to the non-knowing how things should be. Open to curiosity about their heart. Open to feeling compassion for what they're going through. Let's connect with each other and come together. Waiting Through the Winter by John Hall. Or March is the 3rd month. The 11th is November. One place has been suspended, but the other has new numbers. We wait for clearance months away while vaccines are produced. We brace for cold winter days, holidays, schedule Some gather at the good answer, rebellious without fear, while others hide away from all, isolated, unminds are clear. There is no perfect answer to this war of perfect request just a few months more and avoid the missing form. For millions of jobless, Christmas is a season to endure, not celebrate. Even with the prospect of federal aid, many Americans face a holiday with tough choices, try to celebrate more dealing with health needs, find nothing dishwash and duly freedom. May corporate coming from Mother from Pittsburgh have no question about our two children, and handshake of the food staff will be far less than the usual holiday dinner. Now behind her room and utility bill, she's been shopping for formula and diapers. But there's one thing she shouldn't give up: a small Christmas tree and a human story. Miss Tree just spent last $7 on her bank account pencil, a symbol of life in the darkness 2020. It's my baby's first Christmas, she said. I want him to be able to see a Christmas tree. Although Miss Craig, 42, messaged that counselor for Oculus 2, there are no cause for wrong. She can't blame herself when she sees Christmas. It was the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not creature or stir, not even mouse. The stocking was hung by the chimney with care, in hopes the signature soon will be there. The children will make out snack bags, provisions of sugar plum, gas, their heads, and Mama and the creature and I in my heart had settled their brains for a long winter snack. When now on the lawn there rose such a place, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. I reached the window out really like a flash. I opened the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the grass, the beneath the snow, gave a last call of mayday to objects below. When wife turned wondering eyes to the dear harmonious sleigh and the 8 tiny reindeer. With a driver so lively and quick, I knew in the moment it must be significant. More rapid and exhausted as they came, and we saw them seldom and called them by name. No dash, no gun, no plans and victim, uncommon, untreated, undone, to the top of war. No dash away all. As the leader before the hurricane flood, eliminated the obstacle among to the sky, go up to the house of the horse to be with a sleigh full of horse and a signal with food. And then instantly I heard and released the constant food. As I threw my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with the band. He was dressed all in fur with a head to foot. His clothes were common with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys had a blonde headset that looked like a peddler. His eyes had a twinkle, a twinkle how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His jaw and a black bow, and the beard on the chin was like snow. The sun happy his teeth, and the smoke with the sweat of his head like reed. Broad face and a little round belly, that shook a laugh for like a ball for jelly. Chubby and plump, jolly old and I laughed for my son, in spite of myself. I winked his eye and twisted his head, so gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to work, and filled all the stockings, and turned for the jerk, and laying his fingers aside his nose, and gave a nod. Up the chimney it rose. His crown to his leg, his skin got weaker, and the way the off looked like a flower in the distance. But I heard it instantly and drove outside. Happy Christmas to all, and to all who meet. Helicopter Mom was a steamy Buffett down. A medium shop was over when she and her husband welcomed parents after struggling the infertility. Little did she know, by Michelle Bottle. These differences and backgrounds have created an interesting coaching control, and by interesting, I mean annoying. To my husband, I'm not the helicopter mom. I'm a girl on top of a snowplow mom. To me, my husband is too casual and relaxed. Toddler time is not a Jimmy Buffett concert. I'm constantly thinking, okay, which pen, points, or sharp items on the floor can we put them marks? Whether federal officers they can grab and possibly break on each other's heads like three sprinklers, are all the electric black down the cover. In the meantime, I husband is living on a boat kid. I make him get down, he says. Figure it out in Dutch. Figure what out exactly how many spaces will they need. One day the car. I thought I was the only one watching the case or who sat on the bench looking on. When I asked him to help me, he said, let them be. Let them be. Let these emotional chickens that run by themselves with strange tastes and objects. What is the sound? He had me there, warning and doubt on how I feel about him. I would have argued about the two making sure the tanks were dipping their pacified in the sandbox. I guess the point is, who is right here? Am I overly anxious? Is he too casual? Does every couple experience this? DoorDash pays $38 billion valuation in the Ballroom's IPO. Chris Austin and Haley Root. DoorDash Inc. raised $3.37 billion in initial public offering about his monthly range, taking the highest year-end IPO sales of a consumer-oriented company. The circumstances of the coronavirus pandemic. The San Francisco-based company sold 33 billion shares Tuesday for $102 each, after marketing grants for $90 to $95 each, according to a statement from early reports. DoorDash has the fully diluted value of $38 billion. Using cloud stock and restrict documents as detailed. DoorDash's IPO is the third largest U.S. listing this year, exceeded only by the $4 billion black share company backed by Greenrecorder and its American smelting $3.86 billion offering so-called green shoe shares. The company is part of a cadre of consumer-facing businesses that were expected to go public in December, including home rental on Airbnb, which is seeking to raise at next $3.09 billion as of Wednesday. Others include video game company Roblox, installment provider Comics Inc., Logic Inc., the parent and online discount retailer Wish Inc., food delivery startup DoorDash has seized on pandemic-fueled booming demand for meals brought to your door, as well as investor exuberance over new stock listing as move ahead type IPO. Revenue in the first 9 months of the year more than tripled, as net loss narrowed the year on the surge in new customers, the company said in the filing. Don't Be a Donkey by Derek Service. Are you trying to pursue many different directions at once? Are you frustrated that the world wants to pick one thing because you want to do them all? The problem is thinking short term, assuming that if you don't do all the things now, they won't happen. The solution is to think long term. Do just one thing for a few years, then another for a few years, then another. You may have heard this story. Birds a donkey and standing halfway between pathway a bucket of water. It keeps looking left and right, trying to decide between hay and water. Unable to decide, it eventually dies of hunger and thirst. But donkey can't think of the future. If he could, he clearly realized that he could first drink the water, then go eat the hay. Don't be a donkey. You can do everything you want to do. You just need foresight and patience. If you're 30 now and have 6 different directions you want to pursue, then you can do each one for 10 years and have done all of them by the time. It seems ridiculous to plan to age 90 when you are 30, right? But it's probably coming, so you might as well take advantage of it. You can focus fully on the one direction of the time without feeling completely distracted, because you know you're dead with others. We've all done some small skill. When something is urgent and needs to be done that day, you focus. For a minute, you get distracting thoughts like, wow, it would be nice to watch a movie now. But you put it out of your mind because you know that if you just focus on this one thing now, you can get it done and do the other stuff afterwards. So expand this situation into months or years. Focus on one thing at a time, knowing you can do the other stuff afterwards. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Think long term. Use the future. Don't be a short-sighted. Don't be a donkey. The way forward. Obscured. The bound stretched by Henry H. Walker. With the distance and the bound between teacher and student is stretched, as are the bonds between student and student, as is the bond between student and fully functioning learning. The way forward has become harder to see for teachers and students alike, as if clear air has been replaced by haze. Leather form on eyeglasses above your biggest masks, those masks which protect the body and block clarity in this book and word. I compare it to having to run maintenance and still work to hold the pen and write. That just is more weight added to the shelf. Students and teachers need to break through to get back to the whole heart learning. Teaching and person, I can almost see the possibility behind us, and eventual way after way to help this student find a way after way to blossom into sunshiness. Even then, it's an effort to read where they are, who they are, a prodigious effort to craft a community of learners. I feel how hard it is for them to find the ways to move forward, to risk venturing forward. Taking such a risk comes even harder these days. Too many can find it safer to not venture in the opinion, in the discussion, to not share an essay, a story, a poem, an idea. This time of distance learning and Zoom and masks in social distancing obscured the way forward. 3 visitors and from Yellowstone act cooking chickens in hot spring. It is illegal to touch or throw objects into the hot spring or other hydrothermal feature in the park, official said, by Johnny Diaz and Conservator De Leon. It was supposed to be a fun family summer trip to Yellowstone National Park. 2 cousins, a neighbor, and their families packed 2 chickens, canoed about 8 hours in the height of the Shoshone Geyser Basin, where they decided to cook their chickens in the hot spring. But dinner didn't go quite this plan. In fact, it led to 3 of them guilty to petty offense. They will sense 2 years probation ban from the park for that period, and fined between $500 and $1,200, according to court documents. The man, the park official said, had violated laws governing the use of the national park. It is illegal to go off the boardwalk or designated trails, and to touch or throw objects in the hot spring or other hydrothermal features in the art, said Linda Rice, a park spokesman. It's also dangerous, she added. The water in the pot hydrothermal system can make it 400 degrees Fahrenheit and can cause severe or fatal burns, she said. The 3, Eric Romeria 49 and Eric Roberts 51 of the Idaho, and Dallas Roberts 41 of Utah were among groups that park intervened after receiving a report to people hiking with a cooking pot toward the basin on August 7. This was said. Redefining Problems by Steve Pavlina. By looking at a problem from multiple angles, you may spot a creative solution you have considered before. But another approach is to reframe the way you define the problem to making it. For example, suppose you define your problem as how to get a new job during COVID times. With another problem definition, you can consider many ways to solve the problem. You could work in your resume, look through job postings, fill out applications, ask rounds to discover and advertise jobs, and take plenty of other actions. But all the while, you're sticking with the original problem definition that you need to get a job. The issue was framing is such you don't actually need a job. Here are some other ways to redefine problems instead of needing a job. Benefactor. You need a grant. You need to start business. You need to learn better marketing skills. You need a new degree. You need to reduce its expenses. You need to declare bankruptcy. You need to start earning royalties. You need more confidence. You need $10 million.